Kia ora everyone, I hope you can hear us. So my name's Isaac. I'll be taking over the driving of our webinar series for the rest of 2021. And today we have a few things on our agenda, which I can just briefly go through today. We have Matt Bostwick, who will be welcoming us, and Ben Brown, who's here as representative on behalf of Steve Hornblow. He will also go through Surface with you and some updates. Sandeep Basu, who's in the call, will go through Dynamics and a few updates for our partners, Modern Workplace and M365 by Paul Bowkett. And we have a guest speaker or partner talking about the IAMCP partner briefing, which he will go into detail about. And then we'll end off with a Q&A, depending on how much time we have left. All the slides and everything will be uploaded to Yammer after this, so you get access to that as well as a recording. So I have the privilege of handing over to Matt Bostwick.
Well, kia ora koutou whānau. Thank you, Isaac. Great to have you on board. So Isaac has joined us and is working with Olivia and the rest of the team in our marketing team. And one of the things that Isaac's going to be running, of course, is the webinar and other things that we do to support and update you across the partner community. So look, just a few thoughts from me before I hand over to Ben. I hope you've all had a wonderful, restful break over summer. I had the opportunity with my family to spend some time catching up with friends over the Christmas break, and then spent a week in the Coromandel. Incredibly privileged and very grateful for the opportunity. We rented a house with some friends and just spent a wonderful time enjoying some of those most essential New Zealand things. Going to the beach, having a few ice creams, telling a few stories, and really just spending some really good time together with family and friends. So I hope you all had an opportunity to do a little bit of that. But hey, 2021 is here and we're kind of back into it. And I thought I'd just share very briefly with you all a couple of things around what we as Microsoft are seeing as the priorities for us and for you from a partner ecosystem perspective. Probably the first thing to say is to just kind of give you a sense as to what our mission is. It's very, very simple. We are very aligned as a team around a core mission here to build the best tech ecosystem for Aotearoa. So that means our role here within Microsoft is to work with you to create an ecosystem that drives value, not just for you, but helps you drive value for your customers. And that's what guides us every day. And so as we kind of work through the year, we'll keep updating you on how we're delivering on that mission and what are some of the specific things that we're doing to support you. But everything we do is grounded in that very, very simple, mission or purpose for us, which is to build the best tech ecosystem for Aotearoa. And I guess probably there are 4 areas that are really critical to us and that we're thinking about as we move into 2021. And some of them are related to some of the big macro issues that we've all been dealing with, the disruption from COVID, what it means for our organizations and for our customers and for their organizations. And some of them are also related to what I would consider to be slightly better news. Some of the investments that we're making as Microsoft in cloud infrastructure here for Aotearoa New Zealand, and I'll talk about that in a second. But probably out of those 4 areas that we think about a lot, one of them is, probably the first one is around remote work. And we will all have seen the impact that the COVID initial lockdown and then kind of, unsettling or unsettledness has driven. And that is really a need for organizations to be able to support work anywhere type scenarios. So we're spending a lot of time thinking about how we help partners to deliver collaboration and teamwork solutions around Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams, how we can support our partners to work with some of our telco partners to ensure that connectivity and capability is there for that experience to be incredible for our for our joint customers. But that's a real focus for us. And I guess related to that as well is business continuity. And when we've seen some of these disruptions impact businesses, there are lots of things that we're seeing organisations needing to focus on around resilience and availability of resources, of systems, and of the ability to support their people in that remote work piece. So remote work and business continuity are very, very critical for us at the moment, and you'll see us talk about them, and you'll hear us talk about how we can work with you to support your customers in that space. A third one, I guess, for us is security, and as lots of organisations have pivoted to digital, both in terms of remote working, but also e-commerce and other ways of engaging customers, we've really seen security come to the fore. And one of the things that we are putting a lot of energy and effort into here across the Microsoft team and with our partners is around how we can support you to really drive cyber resilience into the community and into your customers. And we've seen stories recently across organisations in New Zealand that have been dealing with cybersecurity issues. And one of the things I'm really pleased about and really heartens me is the number of conversations I have with partners across our ecosystem who are really looking to invest in and build their security capability to augment the other aspects or the other platforms that they take to market. I guess the fourth thing and the last one has a genesis and a mix of different things, and it's cloud migrations. One of the things we've seen around COVID and some of the change that's been driven by COVID has been organisations looking to get ahead of the game and to really fast track some of their digital transformation and cloud migration activities. And so we've seen, for example, with modern work and collaboration, business applications, and even core IT workloads, the pace and the acceleration of those workloads moving to cloud-based services, both SaaS and PaaS and infrastructure as a service has really, really picked up pace. But one of the other things that's driving that is an understanding and awareness of the investment that Microsoft is bringing with the announcement of our data centre region here for New Zealand. And so organisations are seeing that they can start that journey to cloud now and take advantage of Microsoft bringing our global cloud footprint to Aotearoa, and then being able to really make that decision as to where they want specific workloads to sit. So we're doing a lot of work on supporting partners around simplifying the migration process, tools and processes for supporting partners on that. And of course, a lot of work through Olivia and the team around supporting our partners to drive workshops and marketing activities with customers to really help them understand the value and how to get onto that cloud migration train. So with that, I'll hand it across to Ben, and Ben is going to talk about, I would say, one of the unsung heroes of the Microsoft platform and product portfolio, and that is Surface. And it has really been going incredibly well. We're seeing huge uptake across the ecosystem in terms of Surface, and just some incredible excitement around what's coming down the line with this. So with that, Ben, over to you. I'm really looking forward to hearing about this.
Kia ora. Hey everyone, for those of you who don't know me, I am Ben Brown. I am the local Surface PDM, so responsible for essentially helping you as channel partners tell the Surface story and sell the vision of Surface through to our end customers together. I'm going to talk about a couple of things today, one of which is obviously new products. Always fun being the Surface guy. I get to talk about the shiny new toys. Makes my life really easy for these sorts of calls. But before we did that, I wanted to sort of echo what Matt was saying around the way that we work has changed. And what we're seeing off the back of that is really just massive demand, right? If you think about the Windows 10 PC market 5 years ago, people were saying it was dead, right? Everyone was saying it's going to be mobile phones, it's going to be tablets, this is a dying market. Last year, because of the way that remote work has changed and people are requiring these new form factors and new ways of working, we saw the biggest Windows 10 device growth in probably the last 3 or 4 years, 10%. And those of you who have been tracking the Microsoft results today, we'll see that reflected in those numbers. You're seeing exponential growth in the Windows 10 market again, which is just an awesome thing to see. And I think echoing off what Matt said, it really comes down to those three core pillars he touched on, right? Number one is remote work. We saw during lockdowns last year, organizations take several hundreds to thousands of people from traditional desktop form factors locked in an office through to having to think about, hey, what does a modern work style look like, and what sort of modern devices do we need to provide these people so they can work from anywhere? Gone were the days of having to go into the office every day and you were sitting at home on your couch using your laptop with great speakers, great mics, and great cameras to do your work. And I think we're going to see that trend continue as organizations sort of step away from the fear of remote work and actually start to embrace it as both a sales pitch to people that want to come work for them and just a new way of doing things. Second, and I think really importantly, I touched on this just before, business continuity. The idea that you have your staff committed to a physical space has disappeared. We think that's going to continue to drive the idea of mobility for people. We also think it's going to help organizations think about how they digitize people that traditionally wouldn't have had a laptop or any form of device. How do we start to think about those frontline workers, those people that have always worked off paper-based forms? How do we give them that digital technology so whether they're at home or on site, they can do the work they need to? And then finally, and I think this is an important one for all of us to take away, this is sort of the third wave that we're going to see coming through over the next year, is how do we provide people secure devices? Because we know now that you're working from home and you're leaving your device laying around the house or sitting in a cafe or out and about, you need to be more cognizant of the security of those devices, both at a physical layer, but also a networking, software, OS, etc. layer as well. So all of these things are exactly what the Surface product lineup is built on. We're all about remote work, we're all about business continuity, and we're all about security. Now, as I said, I do get to talk about the fun stuff, which is, we have great new products and we believe those products fill those needs. And as an example of that, we just recently released the new Surface Pro 7 Plus for business. Now, I'll take a second and say this is the first time we've ever released a Surface Pro product exclusively for business. As a day-to-day consumer, you cannot walk into a Noel Leeming and buy a Surface Pro 7 Plus. This is for our business customers to help them meet the business needs like security, connectivity, remote work that we know they're facing. The Surface Pro 7 Plus for business gives you exactly what you expect from our Surface Pro range. It's still that traditional 2-in-1. It still has the versatility of being a Windows 10 tablet that you can detach the keyboard from using tablet mode, studio mode for drawing. You can clip the keyboard back on and have a fully functional laptop, or you can dock it into your Surface dock or USB-C dock and be away running with essentially a full Windows 10 PC experience. Obviously, just like every iterative approach or every iterative product, you're going to get more power from this thing. It's 2.1 times faster than the Surface Pro 7, which was the previous product. I will call out this one is really awesome for us. We're super stoked to say that, again, the Surface Pro range has LTE in its latest build. So the Surface Pro 7 Plus comes with an LTE variant. Again, we're thinking about how can we address that idea of taking your board meetings from the beach and not having to worry about being connected to Wi-Fi, but really having that ability to work from anywhere. And then finally, one of the cool features that I think sort of helps us articulate that data retention, security, manageability story, the Surface Pro 7 Plus now comes with a removable SSD. So, gone are the days of having to worry, hey, this Surface device is broken, I might need to take data off it before I ship it off. Potentially I have medical records or insurance data or finance data on this device. Now you can just pop out the hard drive, keep the hard drive, and know that your data is secure. So again, we're thinking about how can we design products that are both consistent in form factor to help businesses stay consistent in the accessories and investments they've made, but also bring to market new features like better productivity, LTE, and improved security posture. I won't bother digging into LTE too much. New Zealand is an awesome market for this. It's one of the big demands from our customers. We lead the world in this regard. New Zealand is, we love working from the beach, we love working from the park, and this is something that's going to be really key to your customers over the next year. One thing I did want to talk about is really the move that Microsoft is making, and you'll see this over and over again, especially in a lot of our news releases, towards both sustainability and recyclability. So, being the hardware branch of a software company, we're one of the areas of focus for this. And I wanted to touch quickly on the fact that, we're making continuous strides for improving both the repairability of our Surface devices. Things like removable SSDs really help in that space, but also thinking about how we can use more recyclable materials in our builds. So things like all commercial Surface packaging is moving towards recyclable packaging versus our consumer, which is still in that white box, right? So we're thinking, how can we help be more environmentally friendly as we land these Windows 10 devices with our customers? Cool. The other product, which I wanted to really, really quickly touch on, I know Isaac's looking at the time, is the Surface Hub 2S 85-inch. So anyone that's familiar with the Surface Hub range will know that they come in both the 50-inch and the 85-inch. We're really, really happy to say that the Surface Hub 2S 85-inch is now an approved product, signed off by the New Zealand government, all works on our Wi-Fi and Spectrum, so all good to go. And we are getting our first shipments of those into the country next week. We know lots of customers have been waiting for that sort of all-in-one Teams room solution with full high-definition touch screen and that ability to collaborate. And we're really, really excited to be bringing that to New Zealand early next month. So that is all from me. If you have any questions, I know a lot of you will not have looked at Surface before or maybe interested in learning more. Reach out to me. I'm always interested in figuring out how we can work better together to sort of sell that Surface pitch and that Surface vision to our joint customers. My email is up there. Happy to take questions, happy to have a chat. Just let me know. And over to Isaac.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ben, for your time. I think there's Sandeep in the call. Okay. If Sandeep might be having trouble connecting in.
Okay. Can you hear me, Isaac?
Hi, Sandeep. Thanks for joining us. So I'll just let you share your screen.
Thank
you. So yeah, thank you, Sandeep, for tuning in. So I'll just give that to you.
All right, give me a minute while I share and let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, all good. Thanks, Sandeep.
All right, thank you. So I thought I'd just share and reiterate some of the new offers, promotions, etc. that have come up on the BizApps front. There have been a few changes that we've updated in the second half of the year. So I thought it's a good time to reiterate all the current offers, programs, and markets that we have in place for BizApps. And we'll just walk through a few of them. So the first one is what we call the two partner offers. This is something you should be reasonably familiar with. This is a pre-sales offer that we launched earlier on in the year. It essentially pays you anywhere from 2K to 10K, going all the way up to 20K for large Power Platform customers. But in general, it has two variants. One where you can do a simple short POC and it pays you 3.5K on any of our Dynamics or Power Platform products. So anything from resilient supply chain to Business Central to Power Platform to customer engagement and so on. And the other one, which pays up to 10K and is primarily predicated around envisioning and business value sessions. So all of these have an ROI requirement, obviously, but in all cases, you can go ahead and directly apply for this from your MPN. If you log into MPN, you have an option to go ahead and choose the sales play and go ahead and apply for funding around this. There are some prerequisites in terms of having certified people and being a Business Apps Gold partner, but other than that, you should be good to go with all of this. So customers get either a envisioning of what their future roadmap looks like, or a sample of what a particular app could look like, or a particular scenario could look like on the solution. So that's the whole idea behind these pre-sales offers, and it's eligible for all partners across all all license types, across all segments that Microsoft has, enterprise, SMC, SMB, and so on. As long as you have an MSX ID, you can go ahead and get it in. You have just one nomination form with 5 fields. It goes to a centralized team. They'll get back to you if they have any questions, but otherwise they go ahead and approve. You complete the work, submit the proof of completion, and you go ahead and get your funding. So that's a simple, that's something that all of you should be leveraging as much as you can, given that it works across segments. And there'll be more details in terms of eligibility and the specifics that you want in the slide deck that Isaac will post as a follow-up. But I just wanted to give you a flavor of those. We've included the newer for Power Platform for higher potential customers. We have actually moved it up to 20K. So that's the new thing that came in. Also, this is another offer that exists for Power Platform and Power Automate and Customer Insights. This is for deployments. So for a minimum size of deployment of 50K on Power Apps or Power Automate, you get on a 10x ROI base, you get up to 15K. So going from 50K all the way to 15K, 150K, you can get what is called as a deployment offer, and that basically has part of the funds, a part of the deployment that you would have on either Power Apps or Customer Insights. So again, this is an offer which is incremental to what you just saw on the pre-sales. This is more on the deployment side. So in theory, you could do a Power Apps pre-sales engagement or an envisioning, and when the customer does sign up, you could then again leverage the deployment funding. So they can be stacked. So that was very specific to Power Apps. The other thing that we have put in a lot of focus on previously, as you're aware, is on the Dynamics migration offer. This is to migrate all our on-premise customers from their current on-premise deployments to cloud. Currently covers AX and Dynamics CRM. So as long as any of these criteria are met, again, this is across segments. So you can ask for funding from anywhere from 5K all the way up to 20K on a 12x ROI, starting with a minimum threshold of 60K. So there is a form which is available. You can fill in the form and submit it to a centralized email address and execute anywhere, up to 90 days after PO approval. You will see the date there is December 31st, but we have extended the date for this all the way to the end of Feb, which is 26th of Feb. So if you have customers on AX or on CRM who need an assessment, you can go ahead and you can collate multiple customers in a single form and submit a request for funding for migration assessments. So what I wanted to call out was the extension of this offer from December 31st all the way to Feb 26th, after which you have 3 months to execute. So effectively, this offer runs through the financial year in terms of ability to get the funding and assessment. It uses standard components, including technology assessments. And then if you want enhanced funding beyond 5K, then it must include at least two of an envisioning session or a functional assessment or a best practices kind of review and so on. And that's required when you are asking for funding between 5K and 20K. Up to 5K, you use the scope of work on the left. Anything over 5K and all the way to 20K, you add at least two of what you've got on the right. So that's on the migration program assessment that we have. One thing I did want to call out is on Fast Track. As you know, we have previously had Fast Track, and Fast Track has always had high thresholds for engagement. What we have done is we have added a new layer, which is 100K to 300K. And what this means is you can, as a partner, represent. You can basically bring Fast Track to your customers. So Fast Track will support you, although not through a dedicated solution architect, but you will have access to the same IP, methodology, training, etc. And you will have access to a Fast Track architect to support you at specific stages, particularly around blueprint, go live, and so on. So for this, what you need to do is you need to be a gold or silver partner across one of the two workloads, and ensure that all your team members go through the online training that's available, which is around the success design training. This is available on Learn. There are also workshops that Fast Track will run and make available on demand. for you to be able to leverage fast track led, essentially for you to represent yourself as on deals which are more than between 100K to 300K as having fast track support. You need to get your teams trained and you need to attend the on-demand fast track workshops. There are also live workshops which are happening all the way from Jan to June, and again we'll have the details of the training that you need to attend to be part of this program. In the meantime, if you have any customers which fall in that range, you can nominate those customers directly and let us know, and we'll be happy to essentially go ahead and get a review and get those approved as appropriate. So that's on the fast track piece. The last part that I wanted to call out is on Power Apps pricing. As some of you will have seen, we have put in an introductory offer. We have put in an offer starting December 1st, which is a promo, which basically effectively discounts the license prices of the of both the per app and the per user pricing all the way to 70%. So the $10 SKU is available at $3. The only prerequisite is that you need at least 200 licenses, and you must whatever you want to buy, you need to buy by June 30th, which means you cannot lock in the pricing for future purposes. But you can use that you can buy any quantity as long as it meets the minimum threshold for the per app license. Likewise, for the per user license, the threshold is of course much higher. It's 5,000 licenses. But if a customer meets that threshold, again, they can go down. They can buy the SKU at about at $12 per user per month. So that's the new promo offer that was launched on December 1st and goes all the way through to the June 30th, which is the end of the financial year. So again, we will put in more details in the following PowerPoint, and I'll put in my contact details. If you have questions on any of the programs or any of the promotions we spoke about, you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you through leveraging those programs as well as the promo as required. That's pretty much what I had, Isaac.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandeep. So I'm just going to pass it over to Paul, who will go through some M365.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. I think if we can still say that now. Yeah, let me just go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Got some great new announcements for M365 and particularly the Microsoft 365 business. So yeah, some of this you guys would have seen us do some announcements on the Yammer group. You've probably seen a couple of these posted globally, but I just thought I'd kind of summarize them and put them in one place for everyone. So yeah, excuse me for not jumping into the full screen mode. Oh, actually, let me go full screen. Hang on. Here we go. Zip better. So yeah, just I'm gonna whip through these guys. Feel free to drop some questions in the chat, or I'll be available at the end of the call as well. But I've just got a few different things that I've kind of mixed up here. So one thing, great news, in December we passed 200 million monthly active users in SharePoint Online, and you know, for the fourth year in a row, a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for content platforms. So really good testament to the growth of SharePoint. Its capability, I think you'll agree, it's evolved substantially from where it was when we first kind of launched online. And you know, it's a big bet play for us. You know, Teams is critical to us, but SharePoint, you know, is still an absolute critical part of that foundational service. And then as I move into, I've got a whole bunch of new announcements that we've made around Business Premium. You hopefully saw this on the Yammer group the other day. So for all of you partners that have small and mid-market cloud competency, silver or gold, we now will provide internal use rights for Microsoft 365 Business Premium as well as Business Voice. And I can almost hear you all cheering and going, yay, finally, because that's been a few years coming, I know. The big challenge with it was, for those that aren't aware, is that IUR uses tokens, license keys, which are basically fulfilled through the open program, whereas Business Premium is only available through CSP. And so there was no easy way to do it. So now they've worked it
so they can activate that on the back end. So there is new ways to activate those licenses, so please do jump into the benefits area of Partner Center. And if you are interested in generally what all of your competency and action pack benefits are, that last link on that slide will take you through to that. You can download a table of all of the license benefits for all the competencies in action pack. Other great news, Perpetual software now general availability via CSP. And what that means is that you can buy, if you want, something like Office Standard, BizTalk, Visio, things like that as a perpetually licensed product through CSP. That is essentially because we're sunsetting the open business program, so you'll no longer be able to buy those products through open business. Instead, you'll do it through the CSP program. So for those customers that still want to buy a perpetually licensed product and pay a one-off fee and use that same version for years and years and years, then that mechanism is now available through CSP. We would encourage everyone to still continue driving, obviously, our cloud services and annuity and subscription-based services, which we think offer better value, and as you know, are evergreen services. So good news there. Get the pricing from your CSP provider and that as well. We've just literally announced, this is hot off the press, the new Microsoft 365 Partner Playbook. This is principally around the Business Premium service. And so for those that aren't yet across Business Premium, or specifically really how to make and build managed services around it, highly recommend this playbook. There's been a lot of thought leadership go into this. There's been experts from our channel, industry, so your peers in industry, and Microsoft experts actually inputted into this. I've had a look at it earlier this week, and it's a really, really nice guide. So definitely go download that. As you guys know, Microsoft 365 Business Premium is our hero product for pretty much all SMB businesses, even up to 300 users. So if you're not across it, please go download that and get across the product. This is just some examples of things that are in it. So it's built around building a practice, developing technical capability, accelerating your sales, and then deployment side of it. So you can see that this guide has links to all of the key content that you need to be successful with this product. We've also launched a new Business Premium customer pitch deck. You can download this directly from the Microsoft 365 partner website. So I just took a couple of screenshots here just so you can get a quick snapshot of what's in it. But so we take you through the customer through what's the basic premise of the product. Then we take them through all of the security pieces, Azure AD, defending against cyber threats, and then wrapping up with safeguarding data, securing and managing your devices with Ushering, and those kind of pieces of capability. So really, really good stuff. I encourage you to go download all the customer decks. Some nice little points at the end. I really love the two kind of slides in the middle column, middle row. The one on the left, really shows the value that Business Premium brings. And if you're not across it yourselves, hopefully, this will help. But by buying Business Premium, customers will typically save money if you're in that mid-range area. And all the Gartner quadrants are in there. We're a leader in all of the security quadrants in Gartner, and we're the only vendor that's a leader in all of them. And so, we're pretty serious about this business now. So hopefully, these slides will resonate with your customers. Also new is our new total economic impact for Microsoft 365 Business, and this includes all of the business plans. So this is for not just Business Premium, but for customers buying an amalgamation or assortment of our business suite plans. And this takes you through you can see the contents on the right-hand side there, takes you through where the benefits lie in user adoption, process improvements, IT improvement, travel cost displacement, license consolidation, and so on. It has interviews with partners like you across mostly America, and gets their real world insights of their customers. not partners, customers in America mostly. It gets real world insights into their use of the tooling and where they've saved money. And what it ultimately gives you is this net present value payback of about $2,000 per user over just 6 months. So pretty phenomenal. So you deploy business, any of our business plans, you're going to help customer realize an economic benefit within just 6 months, which is pretty staggering, really. So if you've ever got any customers concerned about the cost point of business, particularly business premium, for instance, then make sure to leverage this total economic impact guide. As a companion to the business premium playbook that I just talked about, we have announced and launched registrations already for our business or M365 managed services webinar series. They aren't on the best time zones. I've got the list of sessions and times coming up in the next slide, but I'd highly recommend you registering. If you register for them, you'll get the kind of invites and you'll get the follow-up email that then says you can go and watch them or download the content afterwards. So even if you just register to start with, if the time doesn't work for you. But this is really, again, built with actually a bunch of your peers and industry experts. It's not just Microsoft kind of spouting off the marketing and sales stuff. It's genuinely good content. As you can see, covering all of the cyber security stuff and securing devices and those sort of things. And so this is the list of topics starting on January 29th, which will be the 30th our time. Excuse me, sorry, that is in New Zealand time. I've already chosen New Zealand when I filtered this. So yeah, a little bit early in the morning, but please do go and register for them, and you can watch the content afterwards or pull down the decks, etc. from it as well. It's a complimentary kind of companion set of webinars to the guide, so you can go download the the Microsoft 365 Business Premium guide, Playbook, and then augment it with these sessions as well. And this is just a reminder. I've got a couple of reminder ones now. I did talk about these probably back in November or December. So we have launched a new CSP guide. This is all about how CSP works, how the terms work, how the licensing constructs work, the opportunities for you guys across our 3 core cloud services, and how you can build services around it, how you can accelerate your own growth. So this is more about CSP rather than the product stuff specifically. But it's super nice, really good stuff around that customer targeting, referrals, our co-sell motion, and the incentives, which we know most partners really aren't leveraging or using or making use of as much as they could. So please do have a look at the CSP guide as well. I know, guys, I'm kind of inundating you with lots of stuff, but even if you just kind of look at these key guides and skim through them, we pick out some nuggets to help your businesses grow. And I'm just going to wrap up with this one here. Just a reminder that we still have our free audio conferencing. So customers can have audio conferencing dial-in numbers assigned. So when you schedule a meeting in Teams, you can have a dial-in number for free for audio conferencing from a PSTN switch, normal mobile or telephone. And then we also have the 33% off business voice available through our CSP channel here in New Zealand, and that goes through till the end of April. So make sure you take advantage of that, get customers on business voice, replacing those PBXs. And I think with that, thank you very much, guys. My details on the screen there. I'll post the links and stuff in the chat as well after I jump off this call, and feel free to jump in with questions, or I'll be available at the end of the call for verbal questions.
Awesome, thank you so much, Paul. So now we have Guy from the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. So if you just want to share your screen, if you have a few slides, or just spotlight yourself, Guy, that'd be great.
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us today, Paul, Isaac, and the Microsoft team in New Zealand. So my name's Guy Rowson. I'm founder of Tier 1, but I have the auspicious privilege of being the founding president for IAMCP in Australia and New Zealand. I will share my screen. I don't know if many of you have heard of IAMCP before, but my first experience with IAMCP was at Microsoft Inspire in 2019. Very briefly, and you don't have to read the words on the screen, Isaac will get a copy of this. The association's been around for 26, 27 years, established in 1994, and its key focus is to help partners that are working with Microsoft to get the most they can from that partnership, either through collaboration with each other or a deeper relationship with Microsoft. You'll see here on the screen, IDC did a study on behalf of IAMCP and showed that there was $10 billion annually of partner-to-partner benefit just within the ecosystem itself. So IAMCP at the high level has 4 pillars, which is referred to as PACE, and that is partner-to-partner networking, advocacy with Microsoft, other partners, legislators, etc. Community, obviously, to collaborate and help bring some value to the broader community, and education and growth for its members. In Australia with ANZ, we're really focusing down into the A and the E, and that is to really help enhance opportunities to learn about Microsoft technologies and implement Microsoft technologies within your organisation or for your customers, and to deepen and strengthen the relationship that's available with Microsoft in Australia and New Zealand. So a very high level look at IAMCP. It was established in North America. It now is in 40 countries around the world. There's around 4,000 partners within the community, and it's broken into 3 broad regions, those regions being the Americas, EMEA and APAC. So ANZ fits within to APAC, and so there's a 3-tier structure: the global community, which when you join you're a part of; the APAC region, which includes India, Greater China Republic, Malaysia, Singapore, and recently ANZ, and obviously ourselves. So the ANZ chapter was only recently formed. As I said, I was over at Inspire. I saw this stand. It said that, you know, IAMCP. I went over and had a chat, went to a fantastic party, a networking session there for their 25th birthday celebration in Las Vegas. And I got to talking saying, is there a chapter in Australia? And they said, no, there isn't. And what I discovered is there was a small pool of interested people that were, I guess, members at large, part of the global community, but there wasn't a local community. So I then started the process from there of reaching out and finding people that were interested. And we have a founding board. We're in the process of incorporating, but meanwhile, we're already operating auspiced by the international chapter. So we have representation across Australia and New Zealand. There's 9 board members. I've got them on the screen there for a moment for you to look at. Key to yourselves is Ray de Klerk and Ashley Vogstad. They've both got, they're in New Zealand. They're on this call today. They both have considerable experience in working with Microsoft. Ashley has been a member of IAMCP over in Seattle in the US, so she's got a good deep understanding of the channel. Ray's had some exposure to it when he was in Europe as well. So I'd encourage you as a community to reach out to them if you know them, or if you don't, you know, send them a message. I believe a couple of our other board members are also on the call. So what does IAMCP deliver? As I said, our aim in Australia is to deliver, as well as obviously peer-to-peer and community opportunities, is to really deliver a deeper advocacy with Microsoft. It's great that we've got people like Paul and Isaac here, and they're really being proactive, but to create opportunities for ourselves to share and think and collaborate and take that in a consolidated way to Microsoft at different levels. You know, so to develop and enhance that connection we've got with Microsoft. The other part we're doing in partnership with organisations like ACE Training, who's a Microsoft you know, certified trainer, is offering exclusive or specialised training that's focused around educating partners, not just end customers, and focused around running sessions that will introduce new technologies to partners, and then offer to bring follow-up sessions where they can bring their prospective customers and effectively sitting there as quasi subject matter experts knowing exactly what's coming in that session. So we're creating opportunities to engage with customers in education. As I said, a couple of slides from our peers overseas. Already there's $10 billion of annual recurring revenue or project revenue that's coming from partner-partner engagement outside of our community. Already there's a great ability to connect with the community across geographies. As you'll see on the screen, 100 chapters across thousands of members. I think within a couple of months of engaging with this community, I'd already engaged with people across at least a dozen to 20 different countries. Out of that, without it being, I guess, spammed, people were interested in finding out more about what my business did and how there were opportunities to collaborate. One of the key reasons why I'm here today, to keep it short, is that there is a quarterly partner briefing that IAMCP runs. It runs that in collaboration with Microsoft. And excuse this slide, it's high in detail, don't try to read it all. But you'll see there's opportunities to hear from people within Microsoft, particularly on the second day. Gabriella Schuster, Corporate Vice President of the One Commercial Partner Program. Last quarter she spoke, this quarter she's speaking. Dan, who's the GM of One Commercial Partners, speaking. So we're presenting another opportunity for our members or partners to connect and engage with Microsoft globally and hear what's going on. We also bring in other parties that are interested in the ecosystem to help us learn and educate. Through the process, because of COVID, I mean, there were direct meetups, and in our vision, we will start to have local chapter meetups, in a couple of cities in New Zealand, in the major cities in Australia. But meanwhile, we're working towards virtual meetups, and through this quarterly partner briefing, there is a virtual networking lounge through the process. So what I wanted to jump out to here is how to connect with us. I'll very quickly just jump onto my desktop here and get rid of any monitoring that was there. We have, obviously, IAMCP.org. If you don't know anything about the organisation, you can go and have a little bit of a look there. Within there is some information about the quarterly partner briefing that is coming up. It'll give you a bit of information about what to expect. There's obviously other resources available on the page there. Be aware, I find that a lot of Microsoft partners don't engage deeply with the partner community. There is an IAMCP specific community within the Microsoft Partner Community Portal, and so there's some collaboration to be had there. We're also just in the process of, on LinkedIn, building out some local discussion and engagement. So there's a few different ways you can look to engage with us, connect and collaborate. I just wanted to share those quickly. On this slide, as I said, we're in the founding stages. Ray's on the call. Ray's kindly agreed to share his email for any New Zealand-based queries. So if you want to ask some questions, feel free to email Ray if that's your way of connecting. I've put myself out there for Australian queries, but again, open to be contacted. That's it from me, gents. Quickly, we're here to work out how we can come together and build a stronger ecosystem for Microsoft partners. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Guy, for doing your little presentation and just running that through with our partners. And as I mentioned before, we do have like an open Q&A. So thank you first and foremost for everyone for tuning in. So if you do have any questions, I'll just share my desktop. Please feel free to chime in or add any comments in the chat, and we can run through that.
Yeah, the thing, guys, is while people think about any questions, is we would love your feedback as always. If you have ideas or thoughts on content you would like to see or hear, or if you even had suggested speakers, people that you're interested in speaking or hearing from, let us know, because we want to mix it up a bit this year. We don't just want to kind of dump a whole lot of Microsoft marketing stuff on you either. So please do provide that feedback. You can do it in the chat window or drop us an email at nzpartner@microsoft.com. Comes to the team in the room here. That's nzpartner@microsoft.com. And thanks again for everyone joining for our first call of the year. We know we changed the date on people, and some people don't have the calendar invite. So please do share the link. I've put it in the chat window for our webinar invite. Please do share that with your friends, colleagues.
If that's everything, yeah, feel free to, I'll open up a thread and upload our slides, and the recording should hopefully be posted sometime next week via our APAC Microsoft YouTube channel. But otherwise, we will be in touch, and I will be sending out regular updates around our webinar. And we hope to see you again next month, and we hope there are more people to join us as everyone slowly returns from break. But otherwise, I hope everyone takes care, and thank you from Paul, Olivia, myself, and the others that spoke today. So yeah, have a good afternoon. See you, team.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.